In the darkness, something waits. It does not chase. It does not rush. It survives by patience. Scorpions are among the most recognizable creatures on Earth. A curved tail, a raised stinger, 8 legs gripping the ground with quiet precision. For many people, they inspire instinctive fear, symbols of venom, danger, and ancient hostility. And that fear is not misplaced. Scorpions are survivors from a world long gone. They existed before dinosaurs, before mammals, before flowering plants transformed the land. They crawled across Earth when life was still learning how to survive outside the ocean. Yet despite their alien appearance, scorpions are not relics frozen in time. They are refined. Every part of their body, armor, claws, venom, behavior, has been shaped by relentless evolutionary pressure. They are not fast. They are not large. And they rarely overpower prey through strength alone. They survive by efficiency, by minimizing energy, by striking only when success is guaranteed, by enduring conditions that would kill most animals. But scorpions did not begin on land. Their story starts in ancient seas, among early arthropods experimenting with a radical idea, leaving the water behind. What followed was one of the longest survival stories in evolutionary history, a journey through mass extinctions, climate collapse, and hostile environments where only the toughest designs endured. To understand why scorpions still exist today, largely unchanged in form, yet perfectly adapted, we must travel back over 430 million years to a time when the land itself was a deadly frontier. This is the story of how scorpions conquered both ocean and land and refused to disappear. Over 430 million years ago, Earth was still an ocean-dominated planet. Life thrived in the seas, while the land remained harsh and unstable, exposed to intense sunlight, temperature swings, and desiccation. Only the simplest organisms dared approach the shoreline. Among the dominant animals of the ancient oceans were arthropods, creatures with jointed limbs, hard exoskeletons, and segmented bodies. These designs offered protection and flexibility, making arthropods some of the most successful life forms of their time. The ancestors of scorpions emerged from this group. Early scorpion-like creatures lived in shallow coastal waters, estuaries, and tidal zones. Some of them were fully aquatic, equipped with gills and paddle-like limbs. Fossil evidence suggests that the earliest scorpions may have hunted underwater, preying on smaller arthropods and early fish. But the ocean was becoming crowded. Competition increased. Predators grew larger. And at the edges of the sea, a new opportunity appeared. The land was empty. No large predators. No competitors. Only danger, dry air, gravity, and exposure. For most animals, this environment was lethal. But for some arthropods, the challenge was survivable. Early scorpions possessed traits that made the transition possible. Their exoskeleton reduced water loss. Their segmented bodies allowed flexible movement, and their primitive lungs, evolving from gill structures, enabled gas exchange in air. The move onto land was not sudden, it was gradual. Scorpions crept onto damp shorelines, then farther inland, generation by generation. Those that could survive longer outside water gained access to new prey and fewer rivals. This shift marked a turning point. Scorpions were no longer just marine hunters. They were becoming pioneers of terrestrial life, testing a hostile world with every step. Leaving the ocean was only the first challenge. To survive on land, scorpions needed solutions to problems no marine animal had ever faced: breathing air, conserving water, hunting without buoyancy, and defending against new predators. Evolution answered with precision. The first critical innovation was respiration. Scorpions evolved book lungs, layered respiratory structures protected inside the body. Unlike exposed gills, book lungs reduced water loss while allowing efficient oxygen exchange. This allowed scorpions to remain active in dry environments where other arthropods quickly dehydrated. Next came armor. The scorpion's exoskeleton thickened and hardened, providing protection against physical damage and predators. More importantly, it slowed evaporation. This armor allowed scorpions to survive extreme heat and dryness with minimal water intake, an advantage that would later define their success in deserts. Then there were the pedipalps, the large claws. Originally used for manipulation, these claws evolved into powerful gripping tools. Scorpions could seize prey, immobilize it, and assess whether venom was necessary. This reduced wasted energy and venom use, turning each hunt into a calculated decision rather than a chaotic struggle. But the most iconic innovation was the stinger. The tail, or metasoma, evolved into a precise delivery system for venom. This venom was not designed for aggression, it was designed for efficiency. A quick sting disabled prey instantly, minimizing risk and conserving energy. Different venom compositions evolved to match different prey and threats. So finally, scorpions perfected metabolic efficiency. They evolved extremely low metabolic rates, allowing them to survive months without food. Combined with nocturnal behavior and ambush hunting, this made scorpions masters of endurance rather than speed. Each adaptation solved a survival problem. Breathe without drying out. Hunt without wasting energy. Defend without prolonged conflict. Together, these innovations created a predator that could survive where most animals could not. And then the planet began to change violently. Surviving on land was only part of the challenge. To persist for hundreds of millions of years, scorpions had to endure repeated global catastrophes, events that erased dominant species and reshaped life on Earth. They faced all of them. During the Silurian and Devonian periods, early terrestrial ecosystems were unstable. Oxygen levels fluctuated. Climate swung between wet and dry extremes. Many early land animals vanished as conditions shifted faster than adaptation could follow. Scorpions survived by staying small, protected, and flexible. Their exoskeleton shielded them from physical stress. Their low metabolism allowed them to endure long periods of scarcity. When environments deteriorated, scorpions did not need to migrate far or hunt constantly. They waited. Then came the great mass extinctions. The Permian extinction, the most severe in Earth's history, wiped out nearly 90% of marine species and a vast portion of terrestrial life. Forests collapsed, insects declined, food webs disintegrated. Large, specialized predators disappeared. Scorpions endured. Their survival strategy required very little: minimal food, shelter beneath rocks or soil, and the ability to remain inactive for long periods. Where others starved, scorpions persisted in refuges, underground, hidden, untouched by the worst surface conditions. Even the extinction that ended the age of dinosaurs did not eliminate them. As climates cooled and warmed, as continents shifted and deserts expanded, scorpions adapted quietly. Their venom diversified, their behaviors refined. Some lineages vanished, but enough survived to carry the design forward. Extinction did not favor speed or size. It favored endurance. Scorpions did not survive these crises by dominating ecosystems. They survived by avoiding exposure, by becoming creatures that could disappear when the world became lethal. When the chaos passed, they were still there, waiting. When the dust of mass extinction settled, scorpions did something remarkable. They spread. As continents shifted and new habitats emerged, Scorpions diversified into more than 2,500 species, each adapted to a specific ecological challenge, not through speed or intelligence, but through specialization. Some scorpions became desert masters. In the harshest environments on Earth, where temperatures swing violently and water is scarce, desert scorpions refined extreme water conservation. Their waxy exoskeletons reduced evaporation. Their behavior shifted almost entirely to night. By remaining hidden during the day and active only for short windows, they minimized exposure and energy loss. Others adapted to tropical forests. In humid environments filled with predators and competition, the scorpions evolved stronger venom and enhanced sensory hairs to detect vibrations through soil and leaf litter. Precision mattered more than patience. A missed strike could mean death. Some species moved underground. Burrowing scorpions developed stronger claws and behaviors suited to life beneath the surface. Here, temperature and humidity were stable, but prey was limited. These scorpions relied on long periods of inactivity, striking only when vibrations signaled a passing meal. Venom itself became a tool of specialization. Some scorpions evolved fast-acting neurotoxins to subdue insects instantly. Others developed venom potent enough to deter vertebrates, an insurance policy against being eaten. Most species balanced potency carefully, conserving venom as a limited resource. Even reproduction adapted. Some scorpions evolved complex mating dances to avoid cannibalism. Others developed live birth and maternal care, increasing offspring survival in harsh environments. Young scorpions riding on their mother's back became a powerful adaptation in unstable habitats. Across deserts, forests, grasslands, and caves, scorpions occupied niches others avoided. They did not dominate ecosystems loudly. They filled the gaps silently. Today, scorpions share the planet with a force more disruptive than climate shifts or mass extinctions: humans. Cities expand into deserts. Farms replace forests. Artificial light floods the night. For many animals, these changes are catastrophic. Habitats vanish faster than adaptation can keep up. Scorpions respond differently. Their ancient survival strategies still work. Scorpions thrive in environments humans consider hostile: dry land, rocky terrain, abandoned structures. Cracks in walls, piles of debris, underground pipes, and ruins mimic the shelters they have always relied on. Where food is scarce and conditions are extreme, scorpions often persist. Their nocturnal lifestyle protects them from human activity. Their low metabolic demands allow them to survive long periods without food or water. Even in heavily altered landscapes, scorpions can endure quietly at the margins. But coexistence comes with tension. For humans, scorpions represent danger. Their venom, evolved for prey and defense, can cause severe pain, and in a few species, death. This fear drives extermination efforts, habitat destruction, and widespread chemical control. Ironically, these pressures often fail. Scorpions reproduce slowly, but they are resilient. Many pesticides miss them as they remain hidden underground. Others rebound once treatments stop. Their ability to remain inactive for long periods allows them to outlast short-term threats. Yet humans also study them. Scorpion venom is now used in medical research, helping scientists understand nerve signaling, pain pathways, and potential treatments for cancer and autoimmune disease. What once evolved purely for survival now carries value beyond predation. Climate change adds uncertainty. Rising temperatures expand the ranges of some species, bringing them into new contact with humans. Other species, tightly adapted to narrow habitats, face decline. Once again, flexibility determines survival. Scorpions do not adapt quickly. They do not need to. They wait for conditions to stabilize, just as they always have. Scorpions have survived for over 430 million years. They witnessed the rise and fall of oceans, forests, and empires of life. They endured mass extinctions that erased giants and rewrote ecosystems. Through it all, their form remained recognizable, because it worked. Scorpions did not survive by becoming faster, larger, or more intelligent. They survived by becoming efficient. Every aspect of their design minimizes risk and energy use. They hunt only when success is likely. They strike once, then retreat. They can wait weeks or months without food. When the world becomes hostile, they disappear into shelter and endure. Evolution did not turn scorpions into conquerors. It turned them into survivors. In a world obsessed with speed and dominance, scorpions represent a different strategy, one that favors patience, restraint, and resilience. Their continued existence is proof that survival does not always belong to the strongest or the smartest. Sometimes it belongs to those who waste nothing. As humans reshape the planet at unprecedented speed, scorpions remain quiet, ancient, and unyielding. Not because they resist change, but because they are built to outlast it. Their story reminds us that evolution does not reward ambition. It rewards designs that endure. And few designs have endured longer than the scorpion.